My name's Reverend Dr. Okechukwu Christopher Obioha, JP, the leader of Njikibo Forum, Nigeria, a socio-political group of the Igbo that is a strong affiliate of Ohanaeze Ndigbo worldwide. I'm just reading this morning about the federal government approval of a 1 trillion naira metropolitan rail line for Kano State. And in reading through both what the project is going to work for Kano in all areas of their life, activities or economic activities, and so on, I begin to feel so sad as an Igbo. Feeling so sad that while you talk about the blue rail line or the yellow rail line in Lagos have been working efficiently, but even before then, the normal rail lines have been laid, that was laid from somewhat 1918 all through the whole country, that is working now in every other area of the country without the eastern corridors, is very sad, very disturbing and disappointing. I begin to wonder, though calls have been made over these years. I remember very well that this rail line or train services from Enugu or from Port Harcourt to Enugu to Makurdi, at least, stopped running immediately Buhari came into power as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and which he gave a reason that some people gave him 5%. The train services were running very well with a condition that yours truly had the services or used the services of Railway Corporation with very good coaches, with air-conditioned coaches, traveling from Enugu to my birthplace in Uzakle, in Abia State. But immediately Buhari came in as the president, the thing stopped. And from that day to today, there has not been anything heard about train services from Port Harcourt to Enugu at least. Now there could be something somewhere along the line, they keep one way or the other, from time to time they talk about train services running from Port Harcourt to Aba, which with a dilapidated coaches, a Lugard coach that runs through there with all the jam-packed passengers going on. And when you look at it, it looks very funny and very laughable and sorrowful too. So but one begins to wonder, and each time they talk about it is agitation, for self-determination and so on. Something led to it. It's just because certain infrastructures or federal infrastructures that are supposed to be in place in the Southeast are not there. And these train services are the things that affect the livelihood of every smallest unit of individual in the Southeast. And nothing is done about it. And each time we talk about billions and trillions of naira being given or expended, being budgeted and approved by the National Assembly, where we have some Igbo representatives, some representatives as House of Reps and senators, giving credence to those before it is approved, passed and sent to the presidency, either as a loan or as a budget, whatever. But nothing is heard about these eastern corridors at all. All we hear is, promises and promises and promises. And yet these areas are densely populated. That if you could put up train services the way that is being run from Lagos to wherever up north, or from Abuja to up north, life will ease off here. Even the fuel increase or whatever you're talking about, people will not be affected so much if a good train service is run from Enugu to Port Harcourt at least. Let's not talk about from Enugu to Makurdi. And this is where it comes into serious questioning that we have representatives in the National Assembly. That is the window where every project that the federal government, as executive arm of government that executes or that is passed from the National Assembly, they represent us there. About 15 senators, about 40-something of the House of Representatives there. And nothing is happening in this particular area that is very essential, very critical to the livelihood of our people here. Every year, sometime last year, because we are getting to another election cycle, they talked about $21 billion loan approval and National Assembly to approve and give to the president, and they said about 3.something billion or 4.something billion is going to be for the railway line for the eastern corridors from Port Harcourt to maybe to Maiduguri. But nothing is heard about it at all now. In fact, to add salt to injury, what they did was to go begin to pull the real original steel rail lines. They were installed by the colonial masters from Port Harcourt to Enugu. They pulled them off. And they are from grasses to bushes, from bushes to forests now, all along the rail tracks. And every time they keep coming in, they keep doing one thing or the other, up to today. And yet we say we have representatives. We have senators. We have governors. Don't talk about the State House of Assembly because at the level they are, they cannot talk about it. But we have governors that are supposed to meet up and talk about it and call the House of Reps and call the senators to questioning and ask them, what are you doing? There was this, grouse, there was this anger with Amechi, who now turns to say he wants to be the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Each time he comes up to say, I want to be president. How would you be president when you were the minister for transport for 8 years and you are from Port Harcourt, from Rivers State, for crying out loud? There was nothing you could do to make sure at least, even if it is a single gauge they are talking about, or we're talking about standard gauge that is operating everywhere, all parts of the country, but apart from here, Port Harcourt, this is about single gauge. You do not want to do anything about it. And even when they talk in the National Assembly, sometimes we said all the 50 about some of the senators that are representing all the constituencies from Port Harcourt to Maiduguri. They met together sometime last year or last 2 years and said, okay, something should be done about the train. But nothing is happening. It's only after every time of this election cycle, like we're having now, something will be done. Like we did when Buhari was going out and Tinubu was coming in. They came and pulled over the rails and said, before April of that election year, the train will be walking. Immediately after that, the team went comatose. Nothing happened again. And right now, we are now getting into another election. We are already in election cycle now. And everybody is warming up. They are all trying to come down home and campaign because they are Abuja politicians. To only come in. There's something like town hall meeting from time to time, but that's another talk for another day. We're talking about this essential commodity, essential service of these train services. Because they are not just there in the National Assembly to collect what they call project, whatever you call it, and so on. I pick up all the billions, constituency projects, as you name them, and you come in here, you give Keke Napep, you give all this from time to time. It's not well interested. There are things you should do, you must do, that are there. Your essence of your being there in the National Assembly is to represent us, your constituency, the South-East zone. So that if there is anything that cake is being shared and shared to them, you will be so particular about it. Instead, you can walk out. You can send yourself out. About 15 senators, about House of Representatives, about 49 or 47 of them. If you now have a meeting, which you don't have, I don't know why, you're so weakened. Thinking of one thing or the other and so on, and then you now come in, stay old and die, and yet these things are here. It will be a story. If you walk out any day and say 15 of us or 47 of us will walk out and stay in the South, it's until this train, which is essential, which have been neglected, which is a very vocal, very essential thing, will not go to the National Assembly. I'm telling you, something will be done. That National Assembly will not work. I tell you what, they will not, even if they are two-thirds, but you are from a zone. That's what we're talking about. That's what you should do. You know, you should do that in anger. And that's the reason why I'm calling you now the leader of Unjikibo Forum, a group that is so much having all the networks in the Southeast. As part of SICA, National Chairman of Southeast Electricity Consumers Association, all over in the 95 local government of Southeast. And I'm saying, if there's no train services by November or December, it's not like a threat. It's not being a threat. I'm asking the people, all the electorals from the Southeast zone, do not vote these people that are in the House of Reps or senators here. Don't put your vote to them. Let's start from there. We must get to a point that these guys should be accountable. Accountable in the sense that, look, you are representing us. If you are really, truly representing us, you should do a proper representation by identifying things that are being shared, things that are being enjoyed in the federal, other parts of the country. Each time you keep on talking about the federal, they are being marginalized. You are marginalizing us. You are from here, marginalizing us. I'm not talking about money now. Make your voice known. Pull out from the National Assembly and say, we're not going to see what is happening with the rail line. What is happening with train services in the whole Southeast from Port Harcourt to Enugu? At least, nothing is happening. All we now want to hear about is Governor Soludo saying, I'm going to do train services, a number of houses are going to be this, whatever, in the state. Talk about the ones that we had. And we're part of Nigeria. We are Nigeria. We're the United Nigeria. We're one Nigeria. One country, united with all our diversities. So why would you not? So I want to call on every Igbo, every Southeasterner. I don't want to talk about the party they belong. As far as there's no train services, by November, December this year, from Port Harcourt, with good coaches, air conditioning that we have other places, we must bring them to account. Do not vote them. It doesn't matter the party they are in. So long as they are serving senators and serving House of Rep members, no matter what you think they're giving you, giving you one small loan or the other, that's not it. You should do something that affects the lives of the people. They are not sensitive at all. Bring them back. Do not vote them in at all until there is train services. These are the things we will now begin to identify. If there are things that are here when they were suffering, like what you do with the EEDC, that have monopolized the electricity sector in this place and so on. And we've been in darkness for more than 11 years. They've been here as a disco. And all these House of Reps are there. Senators are there from various constituencies. Their constituents are suffering and in darkness. They don't bother. They come in with solar and they come with generators. You are very insensitive. It's a shame that you are all there and all the things that people are sharing and enjoying in other parts of the country, we're not enjoying it here. And you say you are representing us. You are not representing us.